Most kids get their first pocket knife handed to them, but I'm starting to suspect that might be the wrong way to do it. Because owning a tool is one thing, but building it, that is something else entirely. Today, we're going to find out if this $20 build your own knife kit is actually a good first knife experience or just a clever way to separate dads from 20 bucks. Durable dads, brothers from other mothers, and sisters from different misters, thanks for tuning in. Today we're doing something a little different. There's going to be no campfire, no tarp, no field repair. Hell, not even me making any coffee. Just a small box with a pile of parts inside, destined to be my daughter's new go-to. Now, I picked this thing up through my buddy Don over at the pawn shop. It's a build-your-own knife kit. Blade, scales, hardware. Tiny parts specifically designed to disappear the moment you drop them on the floor. And honestly, what caught my attention wasn't really the knife. It was the idea. Because most of us got introduced to tools one of two ways. Either somebody handed us one, or somebody showed us how it worked. And I'm becoming increasingly convinced those are not the same thing. So let's see what we've actually got right here. All right, let's see what we got here. Opening it up. Okay. Knife kit, some instructions. We might want those. Do we? Yeah, we better. Okay, preservatives. Not sure about that. Anyways, that looks like hardware here. Some screws, some washers. Okay, what else we got? The blade. The clip. All right. The lock mechanism, 1/2. The other half Torx and some scales. Nice wood scales, perfect. Oh. Also, well packaged and well put in. Well presented, I have to say. But also, packaging these days. All right. This is a nice looking little box. Never know when that might be handy for something, because we don't throw things away around here. And detailed instructions. I see. Okay, well, you know what? Looks like we have everything we need right here. No glue or Loctite, so we're just going to hope and pray and do it as they recommend it. All right, let's see how these components survive content with reality. All right, let's begin. So this is going to be kind of IKEA-ish. So they're showing, from what I can see in this instruction, okay. So we're going to want to go like this, have it look like that, and we're going to want to put screws in here and here. That's these pieces. So from the way it looks like, it looks like these two. Oh my God, don't lose these. I should probably have my little magnetic holder here. My little magnetic dish for screws. Because this looks like it could make a run at any time. We might cut out here and I might go get tweezers. All right. Oh, look at the excitement already. Okay, this is where I'm going to recommend probably that you guys are going to want to do this for the kids. Otherwise, you're going to have there's going to be meltdowns. And it might not be the kids having the meltdowns. 50-50 chance. Okay, so this is a delicate operation. So what I'm going to want to do is the way it looks. Obviously, I'm going to want to screw it in from the size of the screw from this side. So here we go. I don't know if you can see this, but this is what you're dealing with, folks. Okay. Oh, okay. The cool thing is from what I can notice, things are mildly magnetized. That's kind of cool. Look at that screw hanging out. Okay. I don't know whether that's good or bad, given the circumstances. Okay. This is obviously fiddly. Oh, I've got an idea. Let's put it... Oh, no. No. Oh, that does kind of work. All right. So what I've done is just kind of put it down this way. This is not my workbench. It's one of the picnic tables, but we'll have to do. Okay. Getting these things to thread might be a little bit joyous. Oh, there we go. Now, they say that this is supposed to be about a half an hour. I don't know about this. Again, that claim about like 15 minutes on the tent, the Costco tent, yeah, maybe, if you've been doing this about 1,000 times. Okay, well, you know what? That looks... Well, actually, no. It does not look like we wanted to see. Because it looks like those are supposed to be up like this. Okay? First screw up of the day. We're going to pause this and we'll come back. All right, now we're at step 2. And according to the instructions, we want one of these, this goes through like so. Let's hold this up. All right. Perfect. So we've got that. We want to essentially align it like that. Put it through. Where does the N goes through? Dun dun dun. I guess through here. Yes. Okay. We're going to interrupt your regularly scheduled programming for a quick update. So I was originally going to film this out in a location someplace prettier than my backyard. However, I'm super glad I didn't do that. Why? Because that's where I was filming behind me. So in the middle of filming, my SD card on my action cam said that it was absolutely full and shut everything down, which was BS. So I had to go solve that, solve by blowing the card away, and it's decided to rain. All right, let me get set back up. Let's resume. And we're back. Okay, hopefully you can see this pretty well. The dare I say effery that was going on has now passed. I'm set back up. I thought I better not screw around I've gone a little bit farther, so I'm pretty much here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see it, but there we go. Now we're going to put the other half on. All right, let's do it. Let's get this part up and running. So what do they say? Goes on top of like that. So we're going to want to position the blade in here and then set this down like so. Perfect. Okay, what kind of screws do they want? They want the O's. What are the O's? X's and O's. 4 of those bad boys. This has got to be I see 3. Uh-oh. Okay, these are these tiny guys, and I've already used them. Okay, that explains things. All right. Now, I'm not going to give you a guesstimate on the time because, you know what? This is way more than half an hour. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to take these, we're going to fasten these down, and then we're going to start putting the scales on the other side here. Okay, I'll be back when that has been accomplished. Okay, we're back. We're down to the last little steps. I don't know if you can see it here. All we've got left now is this other scale and the belt clip, which honestly, this hasn't been bad. I'll kind of talk to you for a sec while we're doing this. We got these guys left over. So I thought it would be a little bit more meticulous than it actually is. I'm pretty stoked. I wouldn't say half an hour is still a thing, but I wouldn't say that it's like IKEA levels of tier induction. Now, if this was a young individual, say pre-teenager, I would definitely have them assist you to doing this rather and like just hand you screws and help them identify the pieces, help you identify the pieces, get them to do that. Even as a teenager, yes, they say to put tape over the knife or the blade while you're putting it together, which I did not do, but I would definitely do if a teenager was doing this. Okay, there we go. Tighten it together, give everything. I will give this a little bit of a tighten afterwards all the way around, because that's just good practice. Anyways, what have we got left? I guess we can do this while we're talking. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Now, where is the actual trigger release for this guy? Oh, here we go, right here. You can see it right there. Now, okay, there we go. It's a little bit stiff, and this is not as tight as I would like this to be, the blade, but there we go. So there's the action right there. That's actually not bad. Again, I'll tighten this up. I don't want to bore you to tears any more than I have to, so I will show you this done and complete. All right, field note 7.1 through 7.3. All right, one thing I like about this already, the knife isn't doing the teaching. The assembly is. Because when you build something yourself, you automatically pay more attention to it. You understand it better. And if something comes loose later, there's a pretty good chance you'll know how to fix it. Which is a useful lesson whether we're talking about knives, vehicles, tents, or life in general. Okay, 7-2. This is where I think the real value might lurk. Not every kid is ready for a pocket knife. Not every family is going to be comfortable with that either. Fair enough. But responsibility has to start somewhere. And I actually like the idea of earning the tool by building the tool. Because now there's ownership. There's effort invested. And maybe that changes the relationship a little bit. Okay, 7-3. This knife is destined for my daughter. She's 18 and should have a pocket, purse, backpack knife and know how to care for it. Your pocket knife is one of the most versatile tools a fella or a gal can own. Added bonus, it comes in handy in all kinds of situations. If you know what I mean. Okay, here we go, and it is done. This is the final product. There's the decent action. I would have put some grease in there. That's a little bit stiff. There is a little bit of a blade or an edge on this already on the blade. Not to my standards, however, it will do in a pinch. The hardest part of the whole assembly was this hinge pin right here, without a doubt. And getting these on and aligned was actually a bit of a bugger, for sure. But it is done. That ain't no half an hour. But if you were to set aside maybe 45 minutes and had everything together and wanted to rip at it, hey, it can be done. Anyways, I don't feel ripped off by this at all. So my recommendation, let's go put a little bit of an edge on it and get this field tested, shall we? Okay, I've got this thing sharpened. So let's give it a quick field test. There's not going to be anything crazy. We're not fighting bears with it. We're opening cardboard, cutting cordage, maybe making a feather stick, doing normal knife things, because that's what most pocket knives spend their lives doing anyway. All right, so what's the verdict? Anyways, my takeaway, is this a good knife? Honestly, it's okay. It's not premium. It's not fancy. It's sure not going to impress knife people on the internet. But that's not really the question. The better question is this. Is it a good $20 experience? And for this guy, that's actually where this thing shines. You learn how it works. You spend some time building it. You end up with something functional. And maybe more importantly, you end up with a better appreciation for the tool itself. You know what the surprising part here is? The knife almost isn't the point. The experience is. So if you've got a rainy Saturday afternoon, a kid who's curious, and $20 just burning a hole in your pocket, there are probably worse ways to spend the day. All right, kids, if this gave you something to think about, smash the like button, do me a favor and subscribe, and stick around. Because around here, we're less interested in hype and more interested in what actually works in real life. And as always, here's me keeping the coffee hot and the tiny screws pretty much accounted for. Peace out, Scout. Arr.